The hidden power of names. Most men underestimate the emotional power of a simple word. A nickname might seem small, even childish, but in psychology, the names we give people carry enormous emotional weight. They create identity, they create intimacy, and sometimes they create attraction. When a man calls a woman by a nickname that feels natural and sincere, something subtle happens in her mind. The interaction stops feeling formal, it stops feeling distant, and it begins to feel personal. But here's the important part. Not every nickname works. In fact, many men use nicknames in ways that feel forced, awkward, or even slightly manipulative. And when that happens, the effect is the opposite of attraction. It creates distance. So today, we're going to explore something much deeper. 9 nicknames that many women secretly enjoy hearing, and more importantly, the psychology behind why those names create warmth, closeness, and emotional connection. Because when you understand the psychology, you don't just repeat words, you understand when they feel meaningful. Before we begin, remember something important. A nickname only works when there is already respect, comfort, and mutual interest. Used correctly, it deepens connection. Used too early, it feels artificial. Timing is everything. 1. Beautiful. The first nickname is simple, but powerful. Beautiful. Now, at first glance, this seems obvious. Compliments about appearance are everywhere. But the reason beautiful works is different. Unlike words like hot or sexy, which focus purely on physical attraction, beautiful carries emotional meaning. It feels softer, more sincere. When a man says it calmly, without exaggeration, it signals appreciation rather than pursuit. And that distinction matters, because women are used to hearing superficial compliments. But genuine admiration, spoken quietly and without pressure, lands very differently. Psychologically, it signals that you are seeing her as a whole person, not just reacting to her appearance. And that is why this word, when used sparingly and sincerely, often creates warmth instead of resistance. 2. Trouble. Playful nickname. Now we move into a different category, playful tension. The nickname Trouble works because it introduces light teasing. It suggests personality, energy, a little unpredictability. Instead of placing her on a pedestal, it creates a dynamic interaction. In attraction psychology, playful teasing is a signal of comfort. It shows that you are relaxed enough to joke, and when she laughs or pushes back, the interaction becomes mutual. But again, tone matters. If the word is delivered with warmth and a smile, it feels flirtatious. If it's delivered harshly or sarcastically, it loses its charm. Attraction often grows through moments of shared humor, and playful nicknames can become small rituals of connection. 3. Sunshine emotional association. Some nicknames create emotional associations. Sunshine is one of them. This nickname communicates something deeper than attraction. It communicates emotional impact. When a man calls a woman sunshine, he is essentially saying, "Your presence changes the mood around me." And that is powerful. Because human beings naturally gravitate toward people who make them feel valued. In psychology, this is known as positive emotional reinforcement. When someone associates you with warmth and lightness, the relationship begins to feel uplifting. And relationships that feel uplifting tend to deepen naturally over time. 4. Angel. Gentle admiration. The nickname Angel works in a different emotional register. It conveys gentleness, respect, care. But this nickname must be used carefully, because sincerity is everything. When used in the right moment, perhaps when she shows kindness or thoughtfulness, it communicates appreciation of her character, not just her appearance. And appreciation of character is one of the strongest foundations of long-term attraction. Because physical compliments fade quickly, character admiration stays. 5. Smarty, respecting her mind. Attraction isn't only physical. Intellectual admiration is incredibly powerful. Calling a woman smarty or playfully acknowledging her intelligence signals respect. And respect is one of the most underrated elements of attraction. Many women are used to men focusing on their appearance. But when a man shows appreciation for her mind, her humor, her insight, it communicates something deeper. It tells her that the connection is not superficial, and connections that feel meaningful tend to last longer. 6. My favorite human. Unique bonding. This nickname works because it feels personal and unique. It doesn't feel generic. My favorite human carries humor, affection, and exclusivity all at once. It creates the sense that the relationship has its own private language, and private language is one of the strongest bonding tools in relationships. Psychologists call this relational identity. When two people develop shared expressions, inside jokes, and nicknames, the relationship begins to feel like its own little world, and that feeling deepens emotional attachment. 7. Princess care and playfulness. Princess is a nickname that depends heavily on tone. Used correctly, it feels playful and affectionate. Used incorrectly, it can feel patronizing. But when there is already chemistry and comfort, it creates a light dynamic of care and teasing. It communicates that she is special to you in a way that feels charming rather than overly serious. Again, context is everything. The most effective nicknames always grow naturally out of the interaction. 8. Gorgeous. Confident admiration. This nickname sits between admiration and attraction. Gorgeous carries confidence. It's not overly dramatic, but it clearly communicates appreciation. The key difference between beautiful and gorgeous is tone. Beautiful often feels softer. Gorgeous feels slightly more confident and expressive. Both can work, but the delivery determines the effect. 9. Her personal nickname. The most powerful one. The most powerful nickname isn't on this list. It's the one that emerges naturally between the two of you. A nickname based on an inside joke, a shared memory, a moment only the two of you understand. These names carry emotional history, and emotional history is what transforms attraction into attachment. When a nickname becomes part of the relationship story, it stops being just a word. It becomes a symbol of connection. And those symbols are what make relationships feel meaningful. The psychology of affectionate language. Nicknames may seem small, but in relationships, small signals create big emotional impact. A single word spoken at the right moment can create warmth. It can create laughter. It can create closeness. But remember this, the word itself is never the magic. The magic is the intention behind it. Sincerity, respect, playfulness. When those elements are present, nicknames become expressions of connection rather than techniques. And connections built on genuine warmth are always the strongest ones. If you found this breakdown valuable, subscribe to the channel. We explore the deeper psychology of attraction, relationships, and human behavior here. And I'd love to hear from you. Which nickname have you used or heard that created an instant emotional connection? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, stay thoughtful, stay observant, and remember that the smallest words often carry the greatest meaning.